I have resin fingers. I don't expect you to know what that means, but I do. So fuck you. Please don't stick to the newspaper. Thank you. Yeah. I had something to say. Oh yeah. So the state that I'm in, I suppose the state I've been in for the longest time now, I would be the perfect candidate to be an extremist of any sort. Doesn't matter what it is. I could be an incel. I could be a fucking, I don't know, religious zealot. I could be an environmental nut. I could be a pro government nut. I could be anything. Anything at all. And I've always had that potential because I have very polarized mentality, very extreme views on everything. Um, but I reject it all. I reject everything, and I reject everyone. Purely because most people are fucking stupid. Because if you were really smart about something, you would be able to consider all angles, right? If you truly believed in something, you have to have the capacity to defend what you believe in against anything, right? It's not just a physical war, it's an intellectual war too. In fact, in many ways, the intellectual side of it is more important because if that's not in place, then what are you fighting for? You know, what's the point? Nothing matters if what you believe in is a whole lot of fucking bullshit, you know? So I've always struggled with that because you read about these movements, you know, I would describe like some of these identity movements now as extremism, especially if you've had any dealings with people like that. They're fucking extreme. They are. Not in a violent way, but you can be extreme without being violent, you know. I've read about cults, you know, all these like very strange subsets of society with very niche views on things, you know, and they all just collapse. And the sort of people that flock to them are kind of brain dead to begin with. So if I was going to be an extremist of any sort, it would have to be something really fucking special, you know, which doesn't exist. Because everything's stupid and people are stupid, you know. You have to look at the stock of a thing, you know. If you're building a house, right? You're building it from shit materials, it's gonna fall down, right? It's a piece of shit house, doesn't work. It's the same thing with society and humanity. If the majority of people are fucking stupid, right? Then everything that comes from that as a product of that is shit, you know? You might have some good, we good things that stand by themselves, but as a whole, it doesn't work, you know? So I've never really been able to give myself to anything because everything is dumb. People are stupid. I have no respect for anyone. I really don't. When I sit and I think about it, I really don't. I think about the people that have been closest to me in my life, the people that I've let closest to me, you know, they, everyone's so fucking stupid, you know? It's not just stupidity, it's selfishness too. That's the part that bothers me. Like, I can tolerate people being dumb, but if it comes back to me in a way that I'm not okay with, then when you forsaken something in regards to me, then I lose respect. And I can say wholeheartedly that everyone that I've ever known, it's always come back to me in some way. They've all, there's always some form of betrayal or ignorance, negligence, something. And you could say, Michael, you have too high standards. Nobody is perfect. True. True. But I do believe in forgiveness. Well, I used to. I used to believe in forgiveness. But you have to make the steps to be forgiven, which most people don't, because ego comes into it. Ego's like a big fat cat. I love cats, but cats are all about themselves. They are. You know, Cats, they want their pets and they want their treats, and they're never in the wrong ever. Ego's like a big fat cat that's just there. You can't get rid of it. It's just there. And everybody is a slave to their big fat cat. You know, very few people. In fact, I've never met anybody who's. Well, no, that's not true. I've met it. Maybe one person who's been able to set aside that fat cat and be truly objective. Recognize a wrong. But most people they can't do it. That's around about the time where I switch off. So fuck people and fuck friends and relationships in general. Just everything. Fuck everything. People are not worth your time. All there is you. You are it. You're an island within yourself. You are a planet, and you're in a solar system with many other planets, and you just orbit around each other. That's it. There's no interaction. You just orbit. You send transmissions. Hell, you might even send like a fucking spaceship over. But that's all it is. Nothing else to it. And all I'm doing is adopting what everybody else already does. I'm just saying it. I have the unique perspective that I rejected this my whole life. And now I've come full circle. I'm accepting and embracing what people have taught me. What life has taught me, what relationships have taught me, the way that other people live, the way to survive in society with people that you let close to you. That's all I'm doing. But because I have the ability to narrate this process, it makes me an enemy, And I find this in arguments as well. Like if you're ever in an intense argument, with a parent, a grandparent, an uncle, whatever, a close friend, if you have the ability to see what it is that you're talking about with this person, it doesn't matter, because ego and emotion overrides everything. And as soon as you start to explain what you think, because you have to pretend that you're being subjective. Even though it's an objective discussion, you have to pretend you're being subjective and pretend that you don't know, so that you're petting the fat cat. That's all you're doing. You're just saying, there, fat cat. Yeah, it's okay that you don't see. It's just funny. It's also funny. I mean, it's like I despair, but it's also funny. But I lament sometimes, I suppose, when I think about all the time that I spent. And I did spend a lot of time thinking and caring and trying to find ways to help people in a way that was not obvious, um, because I could see the way for them to proceed, but you can't tell them because people won't accept it. People have to think that it comes from them. So there's an element of manipulation about it. And when I think about all the time that I spent doing that with other people, because I knew that the path and the course for them to be happier was a particular way, and I knew that if they took it, then they would be much better off. And oftentimes it did work, you know. Whether I could claim that as a success, no, of course not. But I did spend time and effort doing it. And look where it got me. Why did I do that? Why did I care? Why didn't I just turn my back? Why didn't I just walk away and do my own thing and just try to work on myself? Why did I waste so many hours listening, relating, internalizing with these people when now they're much better off and I'm exactly the same? Um, you know, why do that? Because nobody's watching. Nobody's watching. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody's gonna reward me. Um, there's no point. So I suppose that's my error. My error was caring. My mistake was giving a shit about anyone at all, you know. But that's all I'm doing. I'm just accepting that this is the way that the world is and embracing and narrating the philosophy of the modern man. Because that's what it is. Let's all be fucking animals together, you know?